Why, hello, and welcome to Spoiler Piece Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Dave Riedel. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a movie yapper, and I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
My name is Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. Co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of Your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast.
Yes, indeedy. We got movie today.
Yeah.
We got movie today. But first, let me implore you to stroll over to our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/spoilerpiece. And check out our Patreon episode this week. We talk about Chris Pine's directorial debut, Pool Man, which is a weird... I mean, I keep saying stoner comedy, although there are no drugs in the movie. It just seems like a stoner comedy.
Right. It's kind of like Bill and Ted. Like, we never see them actually smoke weed, but come on, we know what they're doing.
Right, exactly. So anyway, we talk about Chris Pine's Pool Man, which has kind of an amazing cast. Chris Pine, Annette Bening, Danny DeVito, John Ortiz, Stephen Tobolowsky, Clancy Brown.
Yeah. Ray Wise.
DeWanda Wise. I mean, it's, you're looking at Jennifer Jason Leigh. Did you say that already?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm watching this and I'm just like, Jesus, fucking a lot of famous people in this movie. So I guess it helps to be Chris Pine when you're directing your first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's $5 a month for an extra episode each week, a Patreon episode, a bonus episode, as we sometimes call it. And then once a month, we put out a poll for you all to vote on a movie for us to watch from a choice of 5 or 6 that we usually give. Last month, it was, what did we vote on last month?
Boston movies.
That's right. We did.
Excuse me. Boston movies, kid.
Yeah, Boston movies, pal. We did The Town.
Yeah.
And The Town is kind of a hoot. So, that was fun. Anyway, so that's the kind of shit that goes on. This week, however, we are talking about a new movie. I guess you'd call it an action movie. It's called Seven Snipers, not to be confused with Seven Psychopaths or Seven Samurai or The Magnificent Seven. This is Seven Snipers. It's written by Andrew O'Keefe. It's directed by Sandra Sabaris. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Stars Radha Mitchell, Tim Roth, and a bunch of other people you sort of recognize, but you can't quite remember from where. And this is a short thriller about a woman who used to be a sniper who is retired and is teaching her daughter to shoot a bow and arrow, because I guess you start with the bow and arrow and work up to the 729. I don't know. You start with the bow and arrow and then you go to the other things. And it turns out that, and of course the woman is Radha Mitchell, and it turns out that this guy who had held her, this warlord, I guess we'd call him, played by Tim Roth, who everyone thought was dead, is actually found out where she is, and he's coming to get her, to kill her.
To get the daughter, because that's their daughter.
Well, right. We learned that later, that, in order to keep herself from getting killed, Radha Mitchell basically let herself be sexually assaulted so she could, avoid death. And then she had a daughter as a result who has just turned 16 and has been skipping school for 2 weeks and is running off with her boyfriend every night to sleep in a tent.
Yep.
In the Australian...
Perfect target practice.
Yeah. And so Radha Mitchell she calls one of her old, war buddies. I don't even know what you would call him, and says, I need as many snipers as you can get here as soon as you can get here. The dragon's coming for me. And he already sent a guy who said he was a real estate agent, and he tried to shoot me, and so I shot him, and then I set his car on fire, but it didn't burn. Because did you notice they keep going back to the car, but it's just charred, it's not burned.
Right.
And of course, then she's got a tractor that she's using to try to intimidate people, and also uses a shield, which does work, but it doesn't intimidate people because they're all. Right. That's how she figures out that the real estate agent is not a real estate agent, because he's not at all deterred by her driving a very fast for a tractor tractor toward him.
Yep, she gets right in his face with it.
I don't know what's going on with me. I feel like I should be having a Foster's. And for any Australian listeners listening out there, I know that Foster's is not your beer of choice. I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right.
We know it's just a dumb commercial.
You don't have to write in and be like, we don't drink Foster's. We don't go to Outback Steakhouse except for a Bloomin' Onion, which is rightfully delicious. Yeah. Sorry, Australians. So the whole movie is basically a game of cat and mice.
Yeah.
And some very, I would say, strange choices by the cast. When I say the cast, I mean the characters. I mean the characters is written on the page. And when I say characters, I mean characters in air quotes.
Yes.
Because this is a movie of archetypes, not characters. Right. And I also say casting Tim Roth, to me, is a very strange choice. Because I don't look at Tim Roth and think, sniper.
You're like, he's more of a smash and grab kind of guy.
Yes. Or an undercover cop, or, as we will be learning very soon, a bellboy. Yeah. I'm fucking dying over here.
Fuck, I'm trying to watch The Lost Boys.
That's right. No, Pam Grier was like, you know what? He doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for Reservoir Dogs. I think he is. I mean, I love Reservoir Dogs. I still love Reservoir Dogs, partly because Reservoir Dogs is so short, Mr. Tarantino.
I know.
Anyway, so that's basically what happens. And her old army buddy shows up with 5 snipers, and then she would be the 6th, and then Tim Roth would be the 7th, because I did do the math. And then all of these fucking army expert snipers keep walking around in broad daylight in front of windows.
Yep.
And it takes 2 of them being shot in the face for them to all be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't stand in front of the windows.
I know. Like the leader of the group that comes to her aid is immediately killed. Immediately.
and I might add, in the 2 seconds before he is shot, he telegraphs it. Or the movie telegraphs it. I think this is a directorial choice. Telegraphs it so much, it's like, well, he's dead. And then he's dead. Mm-hmm. And then the woman who's there, who I thought would be the one who survived, the 2 things that surprised me is, one, that they killed the other woman sniper almost immediately, because she's sort of mysterious and all that, although you find out she's also
she's Italian or speaks Italian or some shit like that.
Yeah, and turns out she's actually
she gets
Australian
the mission.
Also. And then the guy who fakes quitting the mission to go be the guy on point. Yeah, I figured that he would make it, and he's killed unceremoniously. And here's the thing. Tim Roth is alone. I just don't think anybody is that good, especially when you've got a team of 6 against 1. And he doesn't know the property.
Right.
And they're all walking around looking through their scopes the entire time. Hello, reflections of sunlight. It even comes up in the movie as a
misdirect.
As a misdirect, because he puts a couple of lenses, which he pulls the lenses out and he's looking at it, and I'm like, well, he's not looking at those to see which one he wants to use. He's using those as as you say, a misdirect. The sniper's red herring.
Yeah.
We can go more into this, but this is not a movie. This is not a movie. Somebody wrote this, Andrew O'Keefe, namely, and they went to one location for 2 weeks and shot it. And it's still so low budget that when Radha Mitchell shoots the fake real estate agent's car, when it rolls over, it's CGI. When they set it on fire, they set it on fire. But when it rolls over, it's CGI.
Mm-hmm.
The blood is CGI. Bad choice. When you've got people being shot the way they're being shot in this movie, kind of horrifically, I think you need practical effects. Because they do have practical effects. When they show the people dead later, the obviously they're using makeup for the head wounds and things like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or there's that part where the first guy gets shot, right? And his son, his like hapless son, is like part of the team too. And she's like, let's figure out how far away Tim Roth is. So I'm gonna jam this arrow in your dead dad's head to try and calculate the trajectory of the wound
Which is
from his
just
head.
so,
And she's shoving it in and like just scraping, this arrow around his brain.
yeah.
And,
It's
but
just,
that's
it's,
an example of a practical effect that they had to do that just was like, oh my god, this is what you wanted to do practical effect for? This is
and
like
it's also kind of stupid because you know it's not going to work, and you know that one of the other characters is going to be like, that's his dad right there across the, his son
yeah,
is over there watching you do this. And then there's just so much disappointment. Like the son like runs off and he says, I'm leaving. And she's like, okay, Tim Roth doesn't appear to be here right now. Although how would I even know? Because he's a fucking ghost. And like
yeah,
the way he pops out from around corners and things like that, it's just like, okay, I understand. There's really only one place that she could be, and that's in the house. But him
right.
doing this weird like Pepe Le Pew popping out of nowhere kind of thing is very bizarre and stupid, I might add.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and also he's like wearing this disguise, this like brush disguise. Like, and I know snipers do that. I know they like wear disguises and have things, but it looks like he's fucking wearing noodles most of this movie.
yeah,
It's
or
like
that he's a
Tim Roth.
labradoodle.
Yeah, he's wearing noodles. He's got noodles all over himself.
I mean, I just don't. I'm gonna write to you my notes. The first person killed is the daughter's boyfriend.
Yep.
They've stayed all night in this tent, and he's making her breakfast, and she's like, "Oh, I see. Here, helicopter. I'm gonna go see what it is." And she rides a dirt bike, so she gets on the bike, and it's like, okay. Um, and I was kind of watching this and thinking to myself, I really hope that she actually owes Tim Roth like $10 million Australian, and that it's
Hmm.
not actually that he's this kid's father, because that's going to make me insane. Because then they're going to they're going and then they did it. It's his daughter. And then he's like, "Do you have any idea how much talent this kid is?" I'm like, "Are we really going to go the two snipers fuck to make a super sniper? That is the
Yeah.
dumbest. It's so stupid. That's not how fucking breeding works, you know?
Yeah.
She's not a fucking golden retriever,
Yeah.
or a dachshund, like whatever, you know?" So here are the notes I took. When Tim Roth shoots the egg carton, there are no animal reactions. When Tim Roth shoots the kid 10 seconds later, the animals around him go crazy. Why? Did you notice that?
I did not, but that's hilarious.
Like he shoots the egg carton and the kid's like, "What the fuck?" And then he stands up. Now, there's no reason that he thinks a sniper is training anything on him. By the way, great job killing the boyfriend and then claiming that you're going to brainwash your daughter. I don't think that she's going to forget that. It's just a
Right.
guess.
Yeah. But yeah, then he shoots the eggs in a way that like the egg falls in the skillet and starts cooking the breakfast, so he could just come over and eat the breakfast that the boyfriend was making.
Yeah. And let's see. Then I wrote, these people do a lot of standing up in the open.
Yep, they
And then I
do.
wrote in all caps, I'm not sure when I wrote this, but I know it must have been not too long after that. Why do these people keep standing up?
Yep. A lot of dumb behavior from people you would think would be. And like you were saying about how Nico, the guy you thought was going to make it, didn't. And it's like he's the one who gets distracted by the lenses that you're talking about. And then like he very clearly is exposed and thinks that he's gonna like he keeps like trying to shoot instead of just like hiding and like abandoning his efforts once he realizes that he's failed. So
Yeah.
then he ends up getting killed needlessly because he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna keep sticking my head out and trying to shoot at Tim Roth."
And then the last thing I wrote was, after all those trick shots, because every shot that Tim Roth pulls off in this movie is a trick shot. Like he's He's behind a tree. He's on top of a roof. He's, around the corner selling hats and T-shirts, and then whips out I'm just making that up. But after all these trick shots, he missed her when she's standing out in the open and there's no wind. And then she hits him during a fucking rainstorm. What is this fucking movie, Evan?
Yeah.
Why is this movie so stupid? This is like one of those like Russian Steven Seagal movies that he makes now, where he's like so out of shape. He does all of his fights while his character sits in a chair. And I'm not making that up because I've seen several of them.
Yeah.
I get it. You've got a little bit of money. You got Radha Mitchell, who, yes, never been a movie star, but she's, I feel like, a respected performer. I feel like she always gives a good performance because she's good. She is good.
Yeah.
Tim Roth, obviously a big name in character actors, highly respected.
Yeah. Yep. Plays villains all the time. Like, can be menacing. Like, was it last year that he was in the one Tornado? That was last year.
Or 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't love that, but he was good. I mean, he's always good, Mm-hmm. But like I said a few minutes ago before I got carried away by something else, this is not a movie. This is just like a series of really dull set pieces. There is no mystery. There is no suspense. There is sloppy camera work and editing. I mean, a lot of the shots in this movie look like the director of photography literally just learned how to point a camera. And I know that you're working in one location, probably for budget reasons, but I mean, have you ever seen 12 Angry Men? I know you have. Mm-hmm. It takes place in one room, and there's not a boring shot in that movie. You know? I mean, am I being too harsh? Do I expect too much from my 87-minute sniper movies that take place on one farm in Australia?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the opening was kind of interesting. There was like a lot of high to low, like aerial shots of like Radha Mitchell like running through the countryside, and I thought at first like, okay, this is maybe this is gonna go somewhere interesting, and then it really didn't on a lot of levels. Like plot wise, like you said, there's just like no mystery to the story. There's nothing surprising or interesting. The dialogue's not particularly compelling. As snipers, they're idiots and they're just all standing up getting shot in the head. Like, that's pretty dumb. I did like them using scopes a lot during the shots. I did think that added an element of intrigue to me, that it's a sniper movie and a lot of it takes place looking through the scopes, trying to search around the
I just
environment.
kept thinking of the reflections.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the time that her scope, her scope is like shattered. The glass on one end is shattered, and she's basically looking through a kaleidoscope. And I think it would have been a much better decision if she was like, it's like Serrano at the end of Major League when he says, "Fuck you, Joe Boo, I do it myself." She rips the scope off, and she shoots him from a mile away with no scope.
Yeah.
She is the best sniper who ever fucking lived. Like, see that little ant on that hillside that's covered with other ants? I'm going to hit the one ant who's right there. You can't tell which one he is because they're ants and they all look the same, but I'm going to hit that one. And then she does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then there's just like the confrontation feels like anticlimactic when she finally does get Tim Roth.
And what is the whole thing with like, we're going to have a shoot off where we trade shots? When he's walking over there, just take out a pistol and shoot him in the back of the head.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is this dumbass shit?
Like, the daughter gets him with an arrow first, and then he's like, he can't move his leg. His leg's all fucked up, and that's how they end up like getting him. It's like, oh, he's limping. That's how we can get him.
Yeah, it's like, you've got another... Obviously, he didn't expect... I mean, I think he had hoped that you would be that talented with whatever weapon you chose, but I don't think he expected to get shot with a bolt in the knee. Actually, it's an arrow. I shouldn't say bolt because she's not using a crossbow. But then she's just like, "Oh, I gotta go save Milk. Fuck Milk, man. Fuck Milkman. Go get your mom and get the fuck out of there." And then, this is just dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too. You were saying like actors that it's largely actors you don't know or haven't seen, but it's like that guy Ian Griffith. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. Was fucking Mr. Fantastic in the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four movies, like back
Yeah.
in the day, and has been in shit.
Well, and then the other guy, the guy who plays the fake real estate agent, is like, he's been in some big stuff too. I
Yeah,
think he was like
Ryan
one of the main
Kwanten.
characters in True Blood, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's been in a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. And it's like, and now you're all in this like $3 shot on a farm Australian shitty action movie? Why can't we go back to making the really fucking weirdo Australian movies like Wake in Fright or, The Last Wave? Is it The Last Wave? I can't remember if that's what it's called. Like from the 70s when everything was fucking grim. Instead, we've got like everything's bright lighting. Evan.
I mean, I did appreciate the brutalness with which the characters were dispatched. They're all pretty much just like headshots, heads blown open and stuff like that.
Well, the poor woman, she gets shot in the neck and the head instantly, by the way. And I don't know if you've noticed, the weapon he was using is a bolt action rifle. You can't shoot that fast with a bolt action rifle. At least none of the ones that I've shot.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, granted, I'm not an elite sniper who can shoot somebody from 2.5 miles away in the dark while it's raining a fucking, monsoon.
Yeah.
When I've got 16 trees standing between me and my subject. Like, seriously, what the fuck? And this is one of those episodes where we would get a comment like, well, why don't you make any fucking movies? Dude, if the director was incapacitated, like she got pneumonia the day before shooting, and they said, hey, American guy who hasn't directed anything except like some student films in college, direct this. I'd have been like, all right, where's your shot list? Fuck this shit. I mean, I don't. Now, I'm being unfair because it is a well-go entertainment movie, and they kind of do this is kind of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But some of their movies are good.
Yeah.
Now, I think they pick up. I don't think that they actually make movies, right? They distribute, right? I don't think they're a studio. I don't know for sure. I'm sure somebody out there knows and will correct me. But I just feel like when you've got your one location, this is your chance to be like, to get guttural and scrappy and like build the tension to a peak,
Right.
Instead, we're just waiting for Tim Roth. I swear to God, he's Pepe Le Pew. Because they all go running somewhere and then he's there and they have no idea why. He's never been on this farm before in his life, but he finds them every time.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean though. Like you have this like remote Australian location, lots of, interesting, terrain to explore. This could be more like in the vein of like a Rambo movie where we're getting down in the mud and the dirt and getting, like you said, scrappy. It's a very survivalist. Like that would be interesting, especially because it's like, the people in Australia, the rough and tumble, they got the grit and they know the land and they know,
they've got
how
the
to use it to their
fucking best
advantage.
accent of any person on earth. I mean, come on. The reason I do the Australian accent so much is because I love it. I'm not making fun of it. I love it. I wish I had more Australian friends. All my Australian friends moved back to Australia because they're like, the US is fucking crazy. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Who can blame them? But yeah, it's like they could have really gone somewhere interesting with this, to your point. This could have been much more plugged into the location of it all. which I don't think is a bad location, but like you said, it's just not used to effectively. It's not used to full effect.
Yeah, they spend like all the time in that house in like one room, and it's like, the house has four sides, right? I mean, like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
Now I know that there are only six of you and one of him, but I mean those are pretty good odds.
Right. And then there's that whole part where like the mother and the daughter are like get separated from the rest of the group and they're like, it's dark. We can't really move around without, you know, we gotta wait till it's light. And they like camp out. And they're like camping out there and he doesn't fucking find them.
Yeah. Well, the movie's got to be at least 70 minutes long to be a feature, right? So
Right.
you got to find a way to pad the runtime.
Yeah.
I,
The
I
daughter's like, how many people have you killed? She's like, 116. The daughter's like, what the fuck?
like, why would you tell your daughter that?
Yeah. Nothing good will come from that.
Yeah, and you're the spawn of two elite snipers. You're a mega sniper, and you haven't killed one. You're all 16. You got to kill a lot of people to get where mom is. Start
Yeah.
with your father.
Are you kidding? I was killing when I was still in diapers.
That's right. And I love how it's just so stupid, the misdirect at the end. The wind, like the daughter's like calling out at the top of her lungs the change in wind speed. No mention of the direction of the rain, by the way. Presumably going the same direction as the wind for that matter, but who knows. And then she fires, and the daughter's like, "You missed." It's like, "No, she didn't. Haven't you seen movies before, kid?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like the misdirect in Blazing Saddles when Gene Wilder, says he can't shoot, and he shows his hand like level because he's like, "Now look at that." And then Bart says, "Steady as a rock," and he goes, "Yeah, but I shoot with this hand." And he holds up the other hand. It's waving like this.
Yeah.
It's like, that it's like, come on. I just clapped.
Yes, you did.
Well, is there anything that I'm forgetting? Anything? There have to have been some moments that are also dumb that you saw that I didn't.
Let's see. I like that random scene of the kangaroos hopping around and hopping over that fence. It's like I don't really know what that adds to it, but it was enjoyable to watch kangaroos being kangaroos.
Yeah. It's a strange thing when you see a kangaroo because it's like, all right, kangaroos are weird, but they're awesome. And to an Australian person watching this, they're probably just like, "Oh, kangaroos," because they see them. I don't know if you see them all the time, but I do know that there are lots of kangaroos in Australia. So
Mhm.
I would imagine at some point you have seen them. Like,
Yeah.
what was the movie we watched with Julia Garner? Is that her name?
Yes.
Blonde, curly hair. She was in the Secretary
Yes.
movie where she's like the Harvey Weinstein assistant. I
Yes.
think it's just called The
Yeah.
Assistant. But anyway, that movie where she and her friend are bartending because they're broke in the Australian outback, and then they go on that like
Mhm.
day trip with that guy, and they're watching the kangaroos, and they're like, "Kangaroos!" Like that's how I feel about it. It's like
Yeah.
kangaroos. Throw in a
Yeah.
koala and a wallaby in and be like a fucking, make a little tune out of it. Like, hey, how.
Oh, you know what else I noticed? I'm looking at two things. One, when she is going after the guy who's not the real estate agent, and she like he's like out of his car. There's a really fucking cheap jump scare where like she kicks the car door, and you're like it's like meant to be a jump scare, but it's so cheap because it's like her kicking the door, not him actually like popping out of the car. That
Mm,
fucking pissed me off. And there's a scene where she takes off her shirt and you're supposed to see like all these scars on her back, but they look terrible. They look
yeah, they,
so bad. Like they're almost peeling off her back. That's how bad they are.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like like large and small. This movie fails. And like it's lack of attention to detail. It's just it's befuddling.
Yeah, well, Lena has a certain number of days to shoot it. You think you can shoot something better? Come down here and bring your camera.
All right.
We'll lend you one.
At least understand continuity.
I know that would be nice. I mean, the father and the son do die next to each other. I should say the son dies next to the father.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty fucking grim, actually.
that was really grim. And the other thing about that is it's like, it's not like, okay, you've got the son who's freaked out and Radha Mitchell gives him permission to run off and then he gets shot twice. And by the way, everybody else like dies instantly. Now, he's shot in the gut and they show some of these projectiles, cartridges, whatever you want to call them. They're huge. And somehow he's alive. And she goes to the trouble of carrying him back to the house. And then he just dies.
Yeah, he crawls over to his dad's corpse, slumps down on his shoulder, and dies next to him.
Yeah, and it's like, this is such a waste of my goodwill hunting. I just, you know, it's not like in Pulp Fiction when you shoot Marvin in the face in the middle of a conversation because Marvin is a character who means nothing, you know? It's not meant to have some gravitas to it like in Fear Street when the friend who's been part of the thing the whole time and she's kind of a badass gets her head sliced up in the bread slicer when you're like, oh, I liked her. I thought she was going to make it. It's not like that. It's just some fucking guy. All right. Okay. I've done enough. Starting to give myself high blood pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is another one that I suggested, by the way. Sorry, everyone.
I don't think as I was watching it, I don't think I had as visceral of a hatred for it. I kind of felt like it was like, when I was watching it. But now that we're kind of like really digging into it, it's
it's kind of making you mad, huh?
Yeah, it's many flaws are very apparent.
There's got to be a place for Radha Mitchell not in crap like this. I have always liked her. I mean, she, you know, now this is a long time ago, but and it's Woody Allen, but she was the lead in Miranda and Miranda. Silent Hill was I mean, it's not a great movie, but it was a big movie.
Right. Pitch Black. Right?
Pitch Black. She in that? Yeah, she's in that. And like I said, she's you know, I don't know if I've ever actually seen her act in her own accent before, which was nice. Assuming she didn't put on another regional accent from somewhere else in Australia. I always think that's kind of funny is like, I saw an interview once with Saoirse Ronan where they were talking about the movie Brooklyn. And the interviewer is like, oh, and you got to act in your own accent. She's like, actually, I didn't. She's like, the character's accent was like this. And then she switches over and she's like, and as you can tell, I don't have that accent. And I just felt bad for the interviewer, but also kind of like, you probably should have known that there are regional accents that maybe, you know, an Irish person, whatever. Anything else?
No. I mean, I didn't go in expecting to love this. It seemed like it was going to be kind of a dumb action movie. Now that we've talked about it extensively, I'm kind of in shock of how bad it is on so many levels.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, like, we're also talking about a movie where I'm just looking back at my notes where Tim Roth literally shoots a helicopter out of the sky with one well-placed shot.
Yeah. Now, granted, had he shot the tail rotor, maybe that would be possible. But I don't think he does, right? Doesn't he shoot the pilot through the windshield?
No, he shoots like the engine, like the main like part of the helicopter. But like I think like one shot like just
it is one shot. Crash. I tell you, if they wanted to stop this guy, they should have just like saved themselves some trouble and gotten some kryptonite. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Let's close out this fucking episode of Spoiler Piece Theater.
Okay.
So I think it's safe to say that Evan and I would both highly recommend Seven Snipers.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say would both highly recommend that you skip Seven Snipers.
I would highly recommend that you skip it. I mean, I don't know. Is this one of those movies that's so bad it's good? I don't think so. I think it's so bad it's bad.
I don't think it rises to so bad it's good.
Because it's just competent enough to make you angry.
Well, yeah, and it's not going for camp or
right.
I feel like at least a self-aware movie that's like not good can be worth recommending.
All right, then. So we say skip that one, but let's get on to the happier stuff. I forgot to thank our sponsor piece patron at the top of the episode. So I will thank you now, Heather Sachs. Thank you for being our sponsor piece patron.
Yeah, thanks, Heather.
Thank you to our editor, Otto Clamor, for doing the editing each week. You are the best.
Yeah, thanks, Otto.
You can find Spoiler Piece Theater anywhere you get podcasts. Our website is spoilerpiece.com. On social media, we're Spoiler Piece Theater on Facebook, and we're at Spoiler Piece on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, and Blue Sky, and Threads. If you'd like to email us, please do that. We're spoilerpiece@gmail.com. Maybe send us some movies about, kind of like one location, low budget, scrappy movies that are just done so much better that we can use as a palate cleanser, maybe. That might be nice.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the show, please rate and review us by going to ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece, or you can rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Only high-ranking things, people. It's good for us. And if you really, really like the show, please consider joining our Patreon, which I had mentioned at the top. This week, we do the movie Pool Man, directed by and starring Chris Pine with a screenplay that he co-wrote. And it is a conversation where I think the overall tone is kind of Evan and me going, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my name is Dave Riedel. I am a movie yapper. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm David Riedel on Blue Sky, at Dave Sees Movies on everything else except on Twitter, where I am X can suck a dick, DIK.
Yeah. My name is Evan Crean. I am co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon, and that's real as in film reel.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.